Welcome to Gaming Dad 101, the show where gamers became dads and are now looking for cheat codes. If you're brand new to the show, Gaming Dad 101 goes live on Wednesdays as a podcast and goes live on Fridays as a video on YouTube. Thank you for joining me this week, Ricky.
What's going on, everybody?
All right, everybody. So, Ricky, what's going on? It's been a bit. We've been MIA, the move, and everything going on. How is it going? Your background looks somewhat similar, but somewhat different. What's going on?
So much similar, so much different. This is actually how tall my desk is. My chair is all the way up, ironically enough. So if you felt short at my other desk, you'll really, really feel short on this.
So what you're saying is I need a booster seat. All right, cool.
Oh, yes, definitely. And I got two of them just in case. Yes. But, no, sorry about last week's episode, but, yeah, no, I was moving. We were getting everything ready. I was trying to rush to get internet service and everything, but by the time everything came around, I kind of fell short on it.
But you're good, man.
It's all good. We're back this week.
That's exactly why we mentioned the whole move and everything, so that everybody would know that things could potentially be like affected or whatever the case should be. So,
but we're back. I'm glad. So I'm actually in my new recording.
Congratulations!
Section.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I'm on my man cave. I finally get to set it up how I want. So, How about you, man? How you been?
Not bad, man. Just haven't really been able to play too many games. So basically, prepping for the kid coming in December. I am going to be taking a break from recording, and that includes everything. So, of course, Control C with the way that that's programmed, making sure we have enough episodes so that I can take my parental break, because that one, you know what I mean? Like, those are a lot of sessions. So we basically doubled up on sessions. So at this point, I'm just tired. I think I've recorded in the past 2 weeks, I've recorded roughly 14, 15 podcasts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a bit. So we've done a bit. So, and it's all like in preparation. So like it's a lot. I'm just kind of going over everything and getting mentally prepared for what the next couple of weeks are going to entail.
There you go. Well, with that said, guys, you guys will be stuck with me. I'll be here hosting.
You'll be taking hosting responsibilities for a few weeks.
That's right. But
yep.
So cut me some slack, everybody. So don't y'all can poke fun at me, just don't be so hard and so mean,
You know, you may do better than I do, and then people don't want me back. Like, Chris is not. Chris who? Who's what? No, he left. He can stay. That's fine. You never know, man. So have you played any games? I mean, I know you've been moving. I don't know if you had any downtime.
I've had a little bit of downtime. Plus, I met one of my neighbors that actually has a whole entire collection of retro games.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, all like real retro games. He has the Atari. He has every system in between. So I got to play some TV Smash.
So you're making friends, right? Because like,
oh yeah,
he totally sounds like the type of friend we need. Like,
oh yes.
He needs to be in our circle, Ricky.
Oh yeah, he is. We've had some conversations about some things. But yeah, no, he invited me over. We ended up playing some TV Smash from the Super Nintendo game. Nice. I don't know if you ever remember that movie that came out with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Besides that, it all started because I was helping him clean out his garage a little bit, or putting some of his boxing items up. Mm-hmm. And then one of his boxes kind of just like opened up, and I saw a bunch. I mean, like a whole entire collection of Super Nintendo games.
Oh, jeez.
And then it started with like, okay, well, my favorite game was Killer Instinct. So he took,
Good choice.
He dusted it out. We plugged it up. We played some OG Killer Instinct.
Nice.
After that, we played TV Smash. So those are the two games that I've played with him so far. The next game I think that we're gonna try to play together is Bug Juice for the GameCube. I think is what it's for.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's apparently the character every single time you play it makes like little funny noises like ow, ow. So he wants me to try it out. So we're gonna see if we could get to try that out a little bit. Besides that, one of the bigger games that I tried out, I finished the first section of the mission was The Outer World.
Ooh.
And, yeah.
What'd you think? I've been curious about that one.
It's
Because
Almost,
so many freaking games lately, man.
yeah, I know. I've actually been playing it strictly on the PC. I know I have it downloaded both on the Xbox and the PC, but I've been playing it on the PC only.
It's part
Um,
of it, Games Pass, isn't it?
yes.
I need to sign up
Exactly.
for Games Pass again.
So, I mean, no, the game is fun. If you played, Fallout, it's almost identical to Fallout. Um,
I've heard a
with
lot of people saying that this feels like the continuation to Fallout New Vegas
I have,
because it's apparently by the same studio. So
yeah,
like, there's
I
a
have
lot of
not finished
that,
New Vegas, so I don't know. I've
so you
played it, I
can't
just
speak to
haven't
it.
finished it. Yeah, I can't speak to that portion.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, no, it's almost identical to a Fallout game. Your character's almost the same. You basically have different perks, to level up. You have your locking, your charisma, your leadership, your mechanic, all those little things that you can level up. To have conversations with other NPCs that, depending if you have that specific level already, you gain extra experience points to level up your character to be able to unlock different items. Um, right from the get go, you're paired with a partner, and depending on what partner you pick to go with you on your missions, each different partner gives you um, a boost on a specific level, like locking or
Mhm.
hacking or whatever.
Okay.
um, so you have that. So far I have collected two characters that are with me in mission. So I actually have a crew of two people with me.
Nice.
Yep. I have my own ship. So you're basically traveling from world to world because you're in outer space, and
Hence the name.
yeah, and you basically have to go to different areas to, do your mission and your story mode. Basically, the whole game, what's really about it is the Earth 70 years ago was sending out a crew of people on a hope mission because there was a planet that basically the economy and everything was going down the drain, and they were sending this group of people to basically help and hopefully make life better in this planet. Unfortunately, something happened where the the pod basically got out of course,
Okay.
and basically it was out of course for 70 years before a kind of a mad scientist kind of found it and brought your character, my character, up to life. But uh, because we were frozen for so many years, we have the potential to melt, like
What?
liquidize. Yes, it's pretty funny.
Okay.
And he kind of gives you like a specific drug to keep your body intact from exploding. And then
Always a
that
good
was,
choice.
yeah, I know, right? So that medicine, he only had just enough just to wake you up, the character, and you're now just traveling the world to try to get, the ingredients to make that specific medication that they need to wake up the other survivors of the pod. It's really
Huh.
what the game is. But no, you have side
You can
missions.
liquefy.
Yeah, you have side
Okay.
missions that you do. You have your main storyline. You can technically be a good guy or a bad guy on this, so you technically actually have choices.
Ooh.
Where
But did the impact?
I'm not 100% sure as the impact. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a specific route through the PC version, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna do
A
the
different route with
opposite
the Xbox?
of what I did. Yes, on the
Nice.
Xbox, just because I want to see what the actual differences are. So starting off the game, one of the first missions was you found your pod, a spaceship,
Mm-hmm.
and you need a specific energy for your spaceship. You go to this settlement. The settlement's like, okay, you can get your part, but you basically have to shut the power from this civilization and route the power over to us. And unfortunately, those people are going to have to come over to us. They can no longer be rebels and refugees from our camp. And then once you get to the camp where you're supposed to turn off everything, they talk to you over there and be like, you know what? Screw the city. We're the real people. We want better lives. This is why we did it. you route power from them over to us, and already immediately off the back, you're set with a decision. I'm like, who am I gonna destroy? Do I want to destroy the whole entire capital, or do I want to destroy like a little camp of like 10 people? you know and
Okay.
yeah, and depending on your choice, each side can potentially something happen. Again, the one that I chose was to say screw the little people, and I went with the civilization because actually my character was telling me, it's like, you know what, even though I'm from the civilization and I care about these people and I'm proactive to or prone to people, or happiness, blah 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 blah,
Hmm.
my companion was actually compelling me to go ahead and do what I was sent there to do at first, which was to reroute power away from the little camp and over to the big city.
Mm.
So I went ahead and did that. Then the main person that was in charge of the little camp was pissed off at me, and
I
basic.
don't necessarily blame them. You're kind of dooming them to die.
But in that turn, they asked me to do something, which I agreed, and I did it. And basically, the person that was over the city that instructed me to shut off the power and reroute it, I dethroned him and gave the whole entire city to the main person that was in charge of the little camp.
So realistically, you helped them out even more then. That's not too bad.
Yeah, so I kind of just like, okay, you gave me the job, but screw you. I'll take the power from you. But you guys, hey, take over this city. Let's do it.
So about that vacation I'm taking, is that what's happening?
Oh yes, yes,
He's
basically.
practicing how to take over, guys. That's what's happening. Right,
I mean,
Ricky.
it's pretty fun. It's a beautiful game. It's actually very smooth. Even on the PC, I haven't had any issues. I haven't seen any glitches or anything happen. So I'm actually very excited to continue playing it. I just
Yeah,
haven't had much time to truly dig into it. I'm
I
just in the
haven't
second
heard
world.
much negative press about it. I've heard nothing but positive for the most part. So
Yeah.
I'm actually, it's one of the games on my list of which game do I choose to play, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Actually, in our next segment, Ricky. So like, let's go ahead and just jump into the show with what is the reasons why we're broke.
The reasons why we're broke this week, we have Just Dance 2020 coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, the Switch, the Wii for some reason, and Stadia on November
Dude,
the 5th.
that will always sell on the like they
Sorry.
it sells so high on the Wii they have not stopped making it. That's why they keep doing it. It's like the only game that continues to sell without question. I don't understand it.
Okay. For those fans of Mario and Sonic, you're finally getting your Mario and Sonic at the Olympics game Tokyo 2020, coming out for the Switch on November the 5th. We have Planet Zoo coming out for the PC on November the 5th. We have Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out for the PC.
Finally.
We have Garfield Kart Fury Racing coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on November the 7th. We have Dead Stranding coming out for the PS4 on November the 8th.
And the hardest part of the reason is to I don't know what to play, Ricky. We have Outer Worlds, we have Death Stranding coming out, and then just do a little preview into next week, Jedi Fallen Order. So I
Yep.
have no clue what the hell I'm doing, Ricky.
I mean, at least you can start this week with Outer World. It's currently cheaper than Death Stranding. So if you got the Games Pass.
Well, that's kind of what I'm considering doing is getting the Games Pass just so I can play Outer Worlds for much cheaper.
There you go. So that's a
I
plan
have a
right there.
friend. I have a friend who's planning on signing up for Origin just so that they can play some other games for cheaper too.
Really
Yes.
nice. I've actually been, you know, thinking about that. Do I now that I cut out a lot of the services that I used to have before.
Uh-huh.
So I've been debating, back and forth if I want to jump into something temporarily and jump out once I'm bored or I'm done with
I
it.
mean, kind of what I did. I canceled Loot Crate. I signed up for PS Now, and I still need to do the Xbox One. But
But yeah, no, just moving forward, we have Disney's Zoom Zoom Festival coming out for the Switch on November the 8th. We have Jumanji the game. You ready to play some Jumanji?
I'm
Uh,
down.
Coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on November the 8th. And now this one is a mouthful. It is Leighton a Mystery Journey. Uh,
Catrill,
Catrill and the
Millionaire's Conspiracy.
Deluxe Edition coming out for the Switch.
I'm getting this one.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, I love Professor Layton games. They're so good.
Mm.
They're some of the most charming puzzle games you could ever play.
Okay.
Dude, they're awesome. Like, if you have not checked the Professor Layton, go check out Professor Layton. I've played nearly all of them with the exception of the one that came out before this one, and the fact that, and that was because I didn't have the system for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now that I have the Switch and it's coming out for the Switch, oh yeah, I'm getting it. I'm 1,000% getting it.
Besides that, we also have Need for Speed Heat coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on November the 8th. And finishing off the week, we have X News Super Lucky Tail coming out for the Switch on November the 8th.
Nice, man. All right. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's quite a mouthful. I think we're going to see a lot of games coming out in the next couple of weeks. Then there's going to be like a nice little break, and then mid-January will come, and that's when it'll start picking up again. Watch. Yeah. It's going to be insane. 2020 is looking good so far. 2020 is looking good, and we have 2 new next-gen consoles that are going to be coming out.
Yep.
Oh, crap, and I just remembered Stadia comes out next week. Is it next week? No, 2 weeks from now.
I was about to say, I'm like, wait, is it?
Yeah, no, it's the 19th, I think it's what it is. So 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the math, so it took me a bit. Let's go ahead and get into the news for this week, ladies and gentlemen. So, first on the ticket, it's an article from IGN. Neil Druckmann told PlayStation Blog that he is confirming the delay for The Last of Us 2. Now, I think it was you and I who had a conversation about whether it was going to be delayed or not. And I hate to say this, but I called it. Now, before we get... I'm going to read you the quote from Neil Druckmann before we start talking about it, because it looked like you were trying to give me the finger. Neil Druckmann quotes, "Let me cut to the chase and get the news out of the way. The Last of Us Part 2 has a new release date of May 29th, 2020. I know it's just about a month ago we had our big blowout for the game, letting the media play over 2 hours of it along with debuting our new story trailer and revealing the release date. The positive response we saw from our community was overwhelming. You can feel this energy among the team members. After working on something for so many years, it is invigorating to get a glimpse of validation for all the hard work." So part of the reason that they are delaying this is for more polish and to basically prevent that there's been a term that's been going around that we've been using, and I'm blanking out right now, but basically the crunch, and kind of like having your developers stress over trying to meet those quotas. So they're taking it a little bit easier, and they want to make sure that the game is polished. Now, do you care, Ricky, other than the fact that I told you so?
No, honestly, it doesn't bother me. If the game is delayed, it's a game that I'm eventually going to pick up. Could it be day one? Could it be a couple weeks or a month after it launches? Maybe. But again, I'm not too disappointed. I mean, I am happy that as long as they're doing it because they want to provide a good quality product, I am 100% behind you. As long that is the reason, and then whenever the game does come out, that is the type of quality game that we are getting. So no, I can't be mad if you want to make a better game for me.
See, I'm not surprised because for some reason I have a feeling that this has something to do with the PlayStation 5, and of course, now that the PlayStation 5 is going to come out in May, that's not coming out till fall of next year, toward the holidays of next year, but the sheer fact that there was a delay that coincides closer to the announcement of the PlayStation 5 feels like there might be something behind that to me. You know what I mean? And sure, it's stipulation. Nothing's been confirmed. But we know for a fact that PlayStation 5 is going to have a proper reveal, or at least I feel it's going to have a proper reveal before April, in my opinion, before the beginning of the first quarter of the year, before the end of the first quarter of the year. I feel that that's when they're going to have the event. Okay. That way the announcement, they have the hype, they have people waiting, they have reserves coming in, all of that. That it just feels right to me. So I figured that they would want to pair something like this. I'm kind of surprised that it isn't a launch title, but at the same time, I think it's too late to now push it to a point where it becomes a launch title.
No, they'll just do it like they did with the PS3.
Remastered
The Last of Us came out for the
for
PS3
PS4 for PS3, then came out for
and then
PS4 as remastered.
correct. And
But
then I think Breath of the Wild came out with the Wii and with
oh yeah,
the
yeah,
Switch. So it came out for both consoles.
it came out with the Switch and it came out with not the Wii,
Yeah.
the Wii U.
Well, okay.
They're two different systems, Ricky.
Just the you. But yes, again, it came out within the same system, just on the older version and the new generation.
But you know what's weird about it, and this is the thing that what makes me feel that it still has something to do with PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible.
Okay.
So, what's to stop them from? Sure, it's not a PS5 launch title. However, they're doing something on the back end for it to be ready for PlayStation 5. And then that way, when PlayStation 5 comes out, hey, guess what? Day and date, you can put your PlayStation 4 Last of Us, and it's already programmed to work with your new PlayStation 5 with the added features.
Yeah.
And that's, again,
Makes
just
sense.
stipulation. That's literally just like, that kind of timing coincides. I kind of feel like it'd be interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it would be kind of cool because at that point, sure, it's not a launch title, but it is a title that they can highlight and say, well, you like The Last of Us 2? Check it out on your PlayStation 5. See the difference between PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Because, let's face it, it's a game that we're expecting it to be beautiful because the original was very beautiful in terms of its graphics. The storyline for the first... I keep playing with my inhaler, I apologize. The storyline... was also amazing, so I can't imagine that this one's going to be short of anything. But graphically and everything that they've put into, and we're supposed to be getting with the PlayStation 5, I think can fit in that disc. I feel like they're going to do something, even if it's something that they later have to patch. But I feel like they're prepping it so that it can be ready for PS5. Again, 1,000% stipulation, but I did say it was going to be delayed.
No, yeah, you said it. I mean, I give it to you. I mean,
Dude, it's just,
it doesn't bother
you know
me.
why? It wasn't even like, it's not even nothing. It's not even anything against Naughty Dog. It's not even anything against the title. It's not even to be like, oh, I'm right. It's more because for some reason, like the big titles, the ones that you feel like pressure,
Yeah.
like those tend to be the ones delayed because I sometimes feel like the audience for it pressures the developer so much that the developer wants to give them something and they open their mouth a little too soon. And I kind of fear that that's what happened.
No, yeah, you're 100% correct on that one.
Well, don't humor me like that. I expected you. I don't know. I expected more pushback or something. I don't know.
No, I mean, there's really nothing that you can say. I mean, yes, there's people that are gonna be pissed that, well, I already want this game, blah 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 blah. Just give it to me. However, you have that camp, and then you have the camp of the people that only expect, perfection. So if they do rush the game and it does have a bunch of, glitches or, you have headless monsters running around, you're going to have all these people complaining and stating, and then at that point be like, well, why didn't you just take longer?
Exactly.
So, yeah, no, at the end, you're never going to satisfy everybody. And you're not gonna make everybody happy at all. So,
in the reverse of what I said, it's like sure they might have spoken too soon, but it is better for them to speak too soon and hold it back because they want to give you the quality than for them to be like, oh well, here it is, because that can be the difference between a 7 and a 9 or a 2 and a 5. But you know what I mean? Like it can be a huge difference realistically. So I would rather wait. So I'm personally not bothered by it. I am still looking forward to it. And let's face it, I need more space between games coming out because I'm spending so much money.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying Games Pass right now. That's all I can say.
Oh, man. So let's go ahead and get to the next article. Speaking of Stadia, Google announced that they're starting a first-party studio, and I wanted to bring this to you, in Montreal, Canada, named Stadia Games and Entertainment. Are you surprised?
No.
Why not?
Because everybody likes having freaking exclusives, so why not Stadia have also
because
exclusive
they
games?
Need the exclusive. Like it makes perfect sense. I'm surprised they didn't announce it sooner. Yeah. I was waiting for this announcement to happen, but they need something. So now, let's see. They did
They're giving everybody a reason now to actually get a Stadia.
exactly because you're thinking, all right, Stadia, we're gonna have third-party games and that's it. There's not gonna be any exclusives. I can play third-party games anywhere else. Why
Exactly.
would I bother? But now they're gonna have their own content. But I should have got. I didn't get the name of the person who said it, but it's a quote over on the article. Go give them a listen on IGN. Give them a read. They will produce exclusive original content across a diverse portfolio of games in all your favorite genres. They're going to have some interesting indie style titles that they're going to apparently be different than what you're used to because they're going to be taking advantage of the YouTube integration or different things involving the streaming aspect of Stadia. So I'm interested in that. I'm very curious to see what that looks like. I'm interested to see if you and I can one day do an episode as we're playing a video game at the same
Let's do it.
time. You know
Let's
what I
do
mean?
it.
So it'd be kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I wonder what type of games they're having. They need
I mean,
so
I can honestly, okay. So if they're talking about like a Netflix style game, YouTube kind of style game, it kind of just throws me back into that Minecraft game that you have on Netflix. That's
yeah,
a TV.
adventure mode.
Yeah, it's a TV or an
It's a
episode
choices.
that you
Yeah,
basically control the actions that are happening within the episode.
I don't think it's
Um,
gonna be that.
I
I
mean,
think
it's not as interesting on Netflix because obviously they didn't execute it well. But who knows? You might have a TV show that that they can implement that kind of style, something within YouTube.
my only
Um,
concern is that it may be just too gimmicky. You know what I mean? Like because they're talking about using the added functions and what they were mentioning. So I'm assuming it's like how I could be watching somebody stream a game and then I want to say, oh, I want to play that game, and I can just hit a button and start
yeah,
playing that game. You know? So I have a feeling that
okay,
it's things of that nature,
yeah. I
but I
mean,
feel like
whatever
that's
keeps
going to
the
be a
kid
little too
engaged.
gimmicky.
I mean, Stadia itself is gimmicky.
Touche.
I mean,
I mean, I'm not gonna argue
realistically,
with
if
you,
we want
Ricky.
to think about it.
Yes, you're 1,000% correct. I'm not gonna argue.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean,
I mean, this
I
gives me
don't
a little more
know.
hope to keep it. This gives me a little more hope to keep it because I'm not gonna lie, Ricky.
Oh
I've
yeah,
gone back and forth on canceling my pre-order.
of course they have to make something that's appealing to the customers. They can't just say, "Hey, we're only gonna play third-party games." They at one point they had to come up with the idea. If it wasn't now, it had to be later. To bring those customers in because, like you said earlier,
Hmm.
I have multiple systems and all of my systems play all of the same third-party games.
So yeah. So
So
what's special about Stadia?
exactly. Besides, and you're at the moment, you're tying me to be connected to a Wi-Fi. I
Mhm.
can't go on a mobile device or anything because regardless, not even my own mobile devices can play Stadia.
Not at the moment. At the start.
Unless I have a microphone or a Microsoft phone. So yeah, no, they had to give us some kind of a hook, to keep us in. Especially since they keep telling us, "Oh, we have all of this, but hey, at launch
But
you will not have
this
this
and
feature."
but that and that's kind of where I go back and forth, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, should I cancel? Should I leave it? It's so close to launch that I just I I don't know, Ricky. I don't. I'm very curious to see Destiny 2
hmm
because I haven't really played it, but now that it's going to be included, but I've been considering it and I'm thinking about it, and I just between me signing up for PS Now, me signing up for Game Pass, me playing mostly on my Switch lately, I don't know if I need Stadia. I'm at that point. I'm just like, crap. I mean,
Oh yeah.
part of me wants to do it because we can do it for the show and we can check it out that way. But at the same time, I'm just like, it's a bit of a steep price, and I just don't know if I'm going to be using it a lot, and that's my concern.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, and I have no shame in this, I do have Epic Game Store that I log into just to get the free games every month or every couple weeks, or you know what I mean. Whatever I get the little pop up that says free game available. So
I did too.
Stadia is going to have a similar ordeal.
Oh yeah.
So maybe just in taking advantage of that, that may be enough. I don't know.
They'll probably try to take over Steam as well.
Do it. I got no problem.
Dude, they're gonna curate their own games and all that stuff. Watch.
Oh,
we're gonna have a similar Steam slash Epic store coming out soon for Stadia.
I'm down, man. I am 1,000% down. Now, with talking about new consoles and everything, of course we couldn't leave Xbox out. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read the article over on Eurogamer by Wesley Yingpol. Microsoft has announced an upgrade option for the next Xbox console. Ricky, this is going to be up your alley based on your previous experience. I don't know if you read this, but
No.
yeah. So it's part of the relaunch Xbox All Access plan, which lets you spread the cost of a console out over a series of monthly payments. Players in the UK and US who buy an Xbox One S with Xbox All Access can upgrade to Project Scarlett once it goes on sale in holiday 2020, and they've made 18 payments. If you get an Xbox One X with Xbox All Access, however, you can upgrade to Project Scarlett after you've made 12 payments, which means you can upgrade with the next Xbox console comes out in the holiday of 2020. Xbox All Access lets you buy an Xbox One for as low as $17.99 for 24 months, or you can buy and choose between Xbox One X, Xbox One S, or Xbox One S all digital bundle. Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful. The payments change depending on which console you go for. Xbox One controller is included with each bundle, as is a 24-month membership to the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Xbox All Access goes live November 5th in the UK, November 8th in the US, and 29th of October in Australia. To get in the UK, you have to visit a Game or Smith toy store in person or go online to the Smith store. Of course, in the US, you would have to go to an Xbox store or a Microsoft store. So, Ricky, does this sound familiar? Now, have we reached the point where you're like, oh, that's right, I tried to do that. Yeah.
I feel kind of
So
salty about it.
here's the caveat that Ricky has mentioned in a previous episode that isn't necessarily pointed out too well. Is it is dependent on your credit.
Yep.
So you can't just show up and go, yeah, sure, all right, cool. So you have to have a certain credit, and I think it's actually a pretty steep credit score that you need to have, if I recall correctly, to qualify for the payments, or at least to qualify for the payments that they advertise. You have to have a pretty high score.
Yep.
And I know that, unfortunately.
Now, last time, I know that they're saying all access, but basically the bank backing them up was Dell. So you're technically applying for a Dell's credit card.
Then that's the piece that I wanted you to share because it's weird and I don't know. I personally don't feel comfortable with it.
Yep.
However, I feel that because Xbox is doing this, PlayStation may try to come up with something similar where, trade in your PlayStation 4 and you can get an easier upgrade to the PlayStation 5 or something. I don't know. It'd be interesting, but the fact that Microsoft is going out of their way to once again try to put more consoles in people's hands, I think is awesome. Mm-hmm. And the mentality of this whole monthly payment for it is pretty cool. But it does concern me about, consoles becoming cell phones basically.
Yeah, no. I just got a house, so my credit score just basically plummeted.
Yeah,
so I won't be going for that route anytime soon. But it is a good deal though. You don't have to pay the full $500, $600, $700 if that's what they decide to do.
But you do have to make 12 payments or 18 payments depending on which one you get.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm saying is $700 is because it's also including a 2-year, or what is it? You said a 2-year.
2-year games, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Yes, which technically you're paying full price for that plus your console. So, it is not a bad deal.
No.
But,
But there is
caveat to it. Yeah, it is based on a credit score, which is something that they do not advertise. And if they probably do, they have it in very fine prints. And, excuse me, because I just saw a big-ass spider on my floor right now that I'm looking at.
Oh, well.
Actually, 2 of them, a baby one and a big-ass spider.
Oh, wonderful. So, time to burn the house down. I hope you enjoyed it for this past week. Time to leave it behind.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hi. So you lost your train of thought. So Xbox, just your face is priceless. All right, seriously.
Just excuse me for a second.
Did you kill the spider? Go kill the spider, man.
I'm gonna pick it up in the damn thingy.
The thingy, okay. So
just don't make fun of me, okay?
that's why I'm not making fun of you. I'll keep talking about Xbox. So as I was saying, this is a great deal if you haven't checked it out and you have the credit to do so. To think of it, of you're going to be paying $20 to $30 depending on your credit score, which is less than a game a month just to get your Xbox, and then you can upgrade on 2020. Now, the piece that it doesn't necessarily go into is once you upgrade, how much you'd be owing in terms for the new console, but I'm assuming they're not going to go into that considering they haven't announced the price for the new console. So it makes perfect sense. But I am kind of hoping that PlayStation does something similar simply because he's back. So,
hi guys, I'm back.
Yeah, I was letting them know that I'm really hoping PlayStation does something similar than this because it would benefit them. At this point, I think that Xbox has gone out of the way. Oh man, take that out of the camera.
It's alive. I just caught it inside the thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm afraid of spiders. Get away.
Oh really?
Yes, that's why I said burn the damn house down.
Oh shoot! I did not know that.
Yeah. I have an irrational fear of spiders. Do not judge me.
Oh man, best pranks
and don't
coming
you
soon.
dare.
Best pranks coming soon. Hi.
Anyway, so yes, I hope PlayStation does something similar. But let's go ahead and move on to the next article as well, because it involves Microsoft too. Microsoft is now allowing testers access into their console streaming feature, so that they can stream it from your console to any mobile device. This is currently open for testers. It is something to point out. It is different than their Xbox Cloud gaming, because it is acting as your Xbox is going to be acting as the server itself. So you would be connecting to your personal Xbox and be able to play whatever you have in your collection via your mobile. But it is, as I mentioned, different because it's not the xCloud servers that you're taking care of. So it is dependent on your personal internet connection of not only your device, but what device you're accessing it from. Have you been able to try this, Ricky? Are you part of the testing program? I'm not.
I wish.
You haven't signed up?
Nah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I haven't signed up. Honestly, I haven't really had time. If I find the website again, I know it's probably on the article. I'll probably go and try to give it a try. Just because, hell, I would love to try it. Hell, if I'm even allowed, I would try to even stream it. I would try to figure out a way to stream it for you guys. But yeah, no, I will definitely try that out.
I'm very much looking forward to how these game consoles are finding ways of streaming everything to everywhere, especially now that Stadia has been. Because notice how all of these announcements have been coming out more and more. That the sooner we get the Stadia.
Yep.
I feel like everybody's like, yeah, no, hey, don't forget us, We can also do this. We're looking into it. So yeah, dude, it's going to be an interesting race.
Yeah. I will say, just remember this: it's not who comes in first place; it's who does the better job.
Of course, and that's what's going to be interesting to find out.
Because right now, honestly, that's what I feel like it's happening. Everybody's trying to be the first, to be like, oh no, I have the streaming service. Hey, I have the streaming service. And if you don't do it correctly, you're gonna lose a lot of people, and a lot of people are gonna lose faith in you and not gonna back you up, and it's gonna be hard, once you actually get it to the level that you wanted it to be. It's gonna be hard to try to gain that trust again from your fans. So again, that is my best advice out there for all of those companies trying to do it: is don't try to be the first, just try to be the best.
Try to be the best. And that's kind of what I fear with Google's constant little surprises.
Yep.
So we'll see how that turns out. And then we're going to go ahead and go into the last article. Or as I like to call it as I called it before the show started, the reason why Razer is getting sued by Nintendo soon. Mark my words, it's going to happen. This is an article over on The Verge. Razer announced a mobile pad named Jungle Cat. The Jungle Cat. The Jungle Cat cost just $100. I love how I put just $100. And it is almost a surefire way for them to get sued by Nintendo. These are my words, not the article. Yeah, I wrote this one. Instead of the traditional pad, the system includes two Joy-Con-like controllers that attach in a very much the same way, but you need the special phone cases that Razer sells. So basically what it is. I don't have one. I don't have it near me, but they look very much like Joy-Con. They are, instead of being round like your traditional Joy-Con and rounded, they're actually very much square. However, they do come with like a little gaming pad, very much like the one that comes with your Switch,
Yeah.
as well. So right now, you can only purchase 4 cases. They only make the special cases that you can attach to your phone for 4 different variations of phones. That's of course the Razer Phone 2, the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, the Samsung S10, and apparently I forgot to copy the 4th one. But there are only 4 cases that can be used. So it's a very limited ordeal, but dude, it
Well,
looks just like a Switch.
oh, it's
Like all put together,
identical.
it's basically a
It's
Switch.
identical. The only difference is about their mini Joy Cons or Wildcat, whatever the hell they want to call it, is that so if you're playing with your Switch, or for those that don't have a Switch, your left hand, the thumbstick is on the upper side, and on your right side, the thumbstick is at the bottom of your Joy-Con. With the Wildcat, both joysticks are on the top, and all the buttons are below it. So it should make it a little bit more comfortable, at least for finger placement. But no, it's 100% identical. And then the funny part about it is, if you have a phone that is not compatible with the specific case, they actually sell the little attachment that you just slide both tiny little controllers to make one actual handheld controller, which also looks identical
To the
to the
yep,
Nintendo Switch. So I'm just
that's my
like,
point.
well,
There is
you're
no
just
way around it. It's just basically
you're
a
asking
reskin
for it.
Switch. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
you're just asking for it.
Like, I don't know how they got this far without a lawsuit, but mark my words, there's a lawsuit coming.
Hmm.
Nintendo has been litigious as hell for the past couple of months. Hell, we've talked. How many sites have they shut down in the last like 2 months?
Oh, easily, top of my head, 3 sites,
That's what I'm
three bigger
saying.
sites that I
Yeah,
know of.
this is getting sued. There is 1,000% going to be a lawsuit about this, which makes me want to buy it even more.
It's like, no, I had it. You can't take
I'm
it away.
I'm one of the ones who had it. That's basically that. Whatever. It's stupid, but I want it. I think it'd be neat. We already know how stuck I am to my Switch. It'd be nice if I could have it with my cell phone at all times. What about you, Ricky?
I mean,
You know what I thought of?
what?
All right. So the article, and there's a reason why I put this article last. So the article before this one was Xbox allowing gamers to test how to stream from their Xboxes, right?
Yep.
Here's your Xbox Switch, Ricky.
No.
Yes, this is
No.
the closest we're gonna get to your Xbox Switch idea.
No.
1,000%.
Ripping off Nintendo. I mean, I did say it's gonna be, Nintendo and
You can
Microsoft stuff
play.
together. So there you go.
You can play it.
Jesus Christ.
You can play your Xbox on your mobile device. You can buy this harness, and you bet your ass somebody's gonna hack it or find a way to connect it, and that's how you'll play your Xbox games on a Switch-like device.
There you go. I mean,
I still am
I
hoping for
gotta
the
give it to
Xbox.
you.
I'm really hoping for the Xbox app on Switch. That's what I would like. I would prefer that to be your Xbox Switch idea.
Xbox Game Pass on the Switch.
That's what I'm saying. That would be awesome. But I won't lie that the minute I read this article, I was like, this has to go in. This is totally Ricky's deal.
No, oh, that's right. You were the one that sent me that other article about Nintendo.
Which one?
The one with Amazon.
Oh, yeah, about how they're blocking people from selling Nintendo games.
Yep.
Well, basically, so some backstory on that, and I don't have that article ready because that was
No,
I felt
yeah.
that it was too late to put it in, and people had talked about it to death. But yeah, they're blocking people from selling Nintendo games unless you have Nintendo's permission to be able to sell Nintendo games. And part of the reason they're doing that is to try to prevent all the fakes that are out there, because there's a lot of people selling clones of games. So it's a good thing, but at the same time, it kind of sucks. But I'm hoping that with these new talks between them and this new relationship, that you see more Nintendo stuff on Amazon, because Nintendo stuff is one of the hardest things to come around on Amazon, at least in my experiences, has been to actually get official Nintendo stuff. So now that this has been put in place, I'm hoping that helps with it.
Yep. No, but more to my point is, you can see how protective Nintendo is over their stuff. So yeah, no, it's hands down.
1,000%
If
is gonna be awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
1,000%. All right, everybody. That does it for the news for this week. Now, if you're brand new to the show, we do have something called a cheat code of the week. This week's cheat code was written by Ricky. Ricky, let him have it.
Well, it's kind of gross if I let him have it, but
I know that's actually why I said it that
I
way.
was
But
just like, yeah, because my daughter let me have it, you know. But it is what it is, I still love my daughter. So, get a mattress protector. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I feel like I probably
even
have.
if
But
we have, it
screw
probably
it.
bears repeating.
It's a reminder, and here's why it's a reminder. Right before we came to record, I was putting my littlest one, my 2-year-old, to bed, and she wasn't really feeling herself. She was not wanting to drink her milk, and she loves drinking her milk before bed. She was already like sleeping and like putting her head down in places and like already falling asleep, which is very, very weird for my daughter. She's
Yeah.
normally the hyper one, not going to bed till like 11. Doesn't matter how much we tie her down to her bed or how much we hold her to sleep with her, she will not go to sleep till like 11 o'clock at night. So by 7:30, her already be tired and sleepy and whiny. That was already a big sign.
Yeah.
So while I was laying with her, I guess she ended up getting some kind of a stomach bug, where she ended up just throwing up on our bed, a little on me, and then of course I ran with her to the bathroom. But yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately, some stuff got on the mattress or on the bed. Um, I just got a brand new mattress, so that was like the very first thing. I
Oh.
mean, my mattress just got delivered on Sunday.
Aren't
That's how long I'm like, no.
you
So
glad you got it though?
yes.
It's the
So
best. I
I
have
was
one on my bed too. I can't be without one.
I will say I was nervous. I'm like, please don't, please don't. I'm like, yes, yes, my mattress protector protected my mattress.
Yeah,
It
they're
actually did
awesome.
what it's supposed to do.
They're freaking awesome. I've actually I've spilled my drinks on my bed and had like a
Yeah.
puddle in my bed and my mattress be dry. It's awesome.
Yep.
I freaking love them.
So I recommend it if you don't have one. They go in various in price. So, just see what you can find, and they actually do work. So
Yeah,
I do 100% recommend it.
sweet. All right, Ricky. Well, that basically does it for this week's episode. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Remember, actually, before we sign off, is there anything you want to recommend, Ricky? Anything you want to say?
I want to say that I did not listen to my last cheat code
Oh
of listen to your body.
God!
Yeah, no,
During your move?
during my move,
Yeah, you're stubborn as the rest of us.
I actually ended up getting sick.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah, from everything, and I still was moving. I was like, yeah, you're not gonna let me down. Screw you. Screw you, body and germs and everything, and viruses and sinus infections. Screw you. I'm still gonna do whatever I want.
Nice. All right. Uh,
But yes. So
well, I'm glad you're feeling better at least.
one thing I will ask, give me feedback. With the next couple of episodes, just because I am setting up my new office space, I'll probably record from different angles on it. Just give me your
Just to
opinion
find the
on
right
which one you
spot.
think is the best location. That way, I can just go ahead and just have a normal setup. If you like having my computer in my background, I have another setup style that I'm thinking about to do, which you'll probably see in the next episode of me trying out. So
Nice.
just bear with me and just let me know what you guys think.
We're gonna be testing some stuff. That's what we need to say.
If you want a mini office tour, because I mean my office is not that big, let me know, and I'm willing to do a small video of my
Hey, my name
office.
is Ricky. Welcome to my crib.
I know, right? Here's my office.
Here's my office.
Done.
All right, everybody. Once again, thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Gaming Dad 101. Remember that Gaming Dad 101 goes live on Wednesdays as a podcast and Fridays as a video on YouTube. The one thing that I will say is that if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and rate us over on iTunes and wherever you listen to our services, whether it be a podcast or a video. Go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, give us a 5, give us, as a matter of fact, if you're going for like leaving us a comment in iTunes, the keyword is 5. You give us 5 stars. That's what tells the system, hey, you need to pay attention to this, and then you leave a comment of whatever you feel like, and that's where you really give it to us. But the keyword is 5. Yep. Follow us on social media. You can follow me at VisZen. You can find that under my name. Follow Ricky at PickyGamerDad on Twitter, and you can follow the GeekEnd Cast on Twitter for any news and our new episodes for all our shows. Check out the new website because we do have a new website that we haven't been pimping enough as much as we should. GeekEndCast.com. Go check it out. Lindsay built that for us. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Luego.